information I gathered so far into the season, and especially with you guys helping me out in the comment section, I've been trying a lot of different jump shots from low 3-point rating or even high 3-point ratings. And lately you guys been asking me about starter 4 jump shots, so I made sure to end up getting some of those starter 4 base jump shots for y'all boys and testing those out today. And you don't have to worry, we do have non-starter 4 jump shots in today's video as well. And if you're someone that's shooting in the low percentages, from shooting 50% going all the way to the 70th percentile or even the high 80th percentile without cheating and doing it legit, today I'm gonna end up putting y'all on game and showing y'all the best things y'all can do, from the best bases, the best visual cues, and the best dribble pull-ups. When it comes to the best dribble pull-ups, you're gonna pay attention to the requirements as the rating and the height. Pro 2 is one of those ones that a lot of players on 2K end up using. Now, if you're someone that wanted to be a little bit different, Devin Booker, and you want to use that Kobe Bryant, you gotta end up having an 86 mid-range or 3-pointer to unlock these. But if you don't have this rating and you want something similar, the best thing you can get is Pro 2 or Michael Jordan. Now, if you want to go Michael Jordan, all you gotta have is a 78 mid-range or 3-pointer to unlock this. And when it comes to Stephen Curry, mostly he's going to be for the small guards. It's a cool dribble pull-up, especially when it comes to like your shooting hand. So if you're right-handed and you're staying to the right, that's the best animation you get. Then we got Devin Vassell. This is one of those dribble pull-ups. If you want to get a little bit different than everybody else and you like to create space at the mid-range, it's actually nice. Then we got Kevin Durant. Now, Kevin Durant is one of those ones we've been waiting, and you got to have an 87 mid-range or 3-pointer to get it, and it's one of the best to create space, especially on those bigger builds. We got Bam Adebayo, especially if you're on those 7-footers and you're trying to figure out something. All you need is an 81 mid-range or 3-pointer, but if you don't have the rating to unlock that, use normal 2. This is the best dribble pull-up that you're going to use if you don't really have a high or even an 81 shooter rating on your build. Now I'm going to end up showing you some of the best bases in the game, from the small guards to the big guards, lockdowns, poppers, 6'11s, or even the 7'4s, but we'll start with the small guards. Now look, a lot of y'all been asking for starter 4 jump shots, and y'all know been Patty Mills. Patty Mills is a starter 4 jump shot. You can't get this jump shot unless you're a starter 4, you're under 6'5, and you have at least a 81 3-point or mid-range rating to even equip this jump shot on your build. And I did add an underrated jump shot base that's in the game, Miles McBride, 85 mid-range, 85 3-pointer. Other of those, this is a cool jump shot to use, nice little up and down. And once you find some uppers that you like, you can really get consistent with it. Now, if you got a low 3-point rating, someone that has at least a 71 bare minimum, and you want to at least be able to knock down, use Jacoby Walter. And I've been telling y'all boys about Devin Booker. I told y'all once they end up adding it to the season like they did for last season, you should definitely try it out. Then you know got one of those top 3 jump shots in the game, Quentin Grimes, that you can use on a small guard, a big guard, anything that's under 6'10. But for the next base, it is Stephen Curry's base. Now, Stephen Curry's base is very fast. You need a 93 mid-range or 3-pointer to get it. I do recommend you to rhythm shoot with it, which it makes it easier to time. Then we got Allen Iverson. Y'all know Allen Iverson is one of my favorite bases that's not a starter 4 base, and it's very consistent if you like T-Mac or you like Jared Culver. It's what it is for small guard. That's the closest you want to get to a T-Mac or Jared Culver for a small guard, and that's Allen Iverson base. Then we got JJ Redick. Now, JJ Redick is very similar to the actual Quentin Grimes jump shot, but it has a slight differences when it comes to the uppers. But then we got Zach LaVine. Now, Zach LaVine base is one of those bases you can use on small guards and big guards. Then we got John Wall. John Wall is one of those bases that's cool if you have a low 3-point rating and you round that around 80. Then we got Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas is one of those ones in 2K25 that was nice, but they did tweak this jump shot. It's not the same, and you do jump a little bit more forward than what you did in NBA 2K25, but it's still an effective jump shot once you get the timer down. Then we have Russell Westbrook, which is an underrated base in this game, which you only need an 83 mid-range or 3-pointer to get, which being under 6'5. Now look, you definitely want to try those out, especially for them small guard bases. Now I'm going to end up showing you some of the best jump shots you can use. Now, since we have Patty Mills and you're a starter 4, you make sure you pay attention. Now, Patty Mills, a lot of people say Baluba is broken for him. You can switch up the uppers if you want to, but as of what I've been messing with, Patty Mills, Baluba, hey, max speed, you can put it on release if you want to. I'm not doing full release. I do right like 2 ticks right before we get to release, or 3 ticks before release, 50-50, and this has been money. But if you want to try something a little bit different that's not Baluba, use Patty Mills, Baluba, Colin Sexton, or find something else that you can put for Baluba if you don't like using Baluba anymore. Max speed, 3763 blend. And this one, I got it a halfway mark of push and release. So if you make your speed 3/4, it should be right between that. So that's going to be the actual blending when it comes to the jump shot visual cue for this jump shot. And even though I show y'all the jump shot in the video when it comes to these NBA player builds, or sometimes I don't, because I don't really change my jump shot. And when, especially with jump shot that works, and I tell you, I barely miss when I have this jump shot on, especially if I'm locked in. This is for people that's not a starter 4. Now, if you're not a starter 4, Allen Iverson, Baluba, Stephen Curry, max speed, 40-60 blend, and this is literally in between of push and release. This is the visual cue. This has been the money jump shot. And then for you guys that's asked me for the Curry build, when I was on my Curry build, I literally tried and labbed this jump shot to make it a little bit decent, as it is a 3-4 speed and it's right between push and release. A little bit more could reach like 2 ticks past for the halfway mark. 65-35 blend. I prefer you to rhythm shoot with this. As of me, I use button. With the button, it still is fast, but recommend you to definitely try rhythm shooting with Curry base. Now, if you're someone that wants to end up using Quentin Grimes, you know how Quentin Grimes get. Use Quentin Grimes. Then you're gonna end up using Tia McConnell, then you use Baluba. If you don't like Baluba, try use something else, but it's still gonna be 50-50. Anyway, it goes 50-50 max speed, and it's fully on release. Now, if you feel like the jump shot is a little bit too slow, you know what I'm saying, you can make a few tweaks if you want to. Then we got, for my low 3-point rating people that at least have an 80 mid-range or even an 80 3-pointer, you're gonna end up using Jacoby Walter, Devin Booker, Colin Sexton, max speed, 70-30 blend, and this is literally going to be about 20 to 22 ticks to the right of push to end up getting to where it's at. Then when it comes to this jump shot, it's actually nice on the catch and shoot. It's fast too, that's the thing about it. It's a fast jump shot, and it's a good visual cue because it's just like JT Thor in 2K24. Then we got Zach LaVine. If you don't know about Zach LaVine, you can use Zach LaVine for big builds and little builds. That's the reason why I end up putting Kobe on the screen. We got Zach LaVine, Baluba, Luka Doncic, 30-70 max speed and slightly past push, as it might be about 15 ticks or even 20 ticks to the right of push. Now with this one, it's nice, especially when it comes to the uppers, because it's very smooth, and especially if you like rhythm shooting. Now, if you want to end up going to the throwback of 2K25, Kyrie Irving, Baluba, Stephen Curry. If you notice, I like using Baluba and Stephen Curry as my combo, but if you don't, you can end up using Baluba and then use Kyrie as your secondary, max speed, 35-65, and this is between push and release. Now for my bigger builds, when it comes to the big guards, the 6'5s, the 6'8s, even my lockdowns and even my poppers, I got y'all with some of the best bases you can use. And if you're a starter 4, you know about this base right here, Jarrett Culver. Now if you're on my starter 4s and you want to end up trying out Jarrett Culver base, or you have already, I definitely recommend you to try it out. And if you don't like Jarrett Culver, your other option, if you're a starter 4, to use T-Mac. Now T-Mac is a lower 3-point rating and mid-range rating to achieve, so if you end up want to use this, it's definitely a little bit slower than what you would use if you use Jarrett Culver, and I feel like Jarrett Culver is just a way overall better pick. Now, one I told you that's an underrated, Gordon Hayward. This is one of those ones, if I see somebody else talk about Gordon Hayward, just know I put y'all on game about Gordon Hayward. The same thing, Kevin Huerter. It's one of those ones that's slightly, it's not Patty Mills, but it's close to Patty Mills for the actual big builds. But once you find some customs and you like, you can really go money. But if you're on a spot up, try out Harrison Barnes. If you don't want a super fast jump shot, but you want a jump shot that you can really time, try Harrison Barnes. The same thing with Devin Booker. Devin Booker is a good jump shot off the dribble. It's a good jump shot catch and shoot. Like, it's one of those jump shots that's very versatile. No matter if you're a spot up, it no matter if you're the main ball handler, you isoing, try it out. Same thing with Kyle Korver. Kyle Korver is a good jump shot when it comes to off the dribble, catch and shoot, stuff like that. Then we got Quentin Grimes. You already know about Quentin Grimes. Top 3 jump shot in the game right now, no matter if you're on a small build, big build. One of the fastest jump shots in the game. Then we got Ray Allen. This is one of my favorite bases so far. Y'all know I mess with Derek Whitehead, but Ray Allen is one of my favorite bases in the game. And you gotta have at least a high, decent mid-range rating to unlock that. If you're still using Matt Ryan in the game, it's nothing wrong with Matt Ryan, but you can get a better base than that unless you are already cool with using like Jarrett Culver or all those other things. Then you want something that's very easy to time. Carmelo Anthony. Try Carmelo Anthony base if you want something simple. Like Carmelo Anthony, J.R. Smith, those are 2 bases that's very similar when it comes to easiness of timing, and you don't want to look at too many things. Then we got AJ Lawson, another base that's similar to Patty Mills for a bigger build. Then we got the Scottie Pippen base, which you only need a 76 mid-range to unlock, which a lot of people are using, especially when it comes to poppers, even a lockdown sometimes. They're going to mess around with the Scottie Pippen base. Now, I try to put y'all on the Scottie Pippen at the beginning of the year 2K25. Then we got Josh Richardson. This is a cool base to use. All you need is an 81 mid-range to unlock if you want something different. Catch and shoot off the dribble. And it's very consistent once you find the uppers that you like. And I know I just showed you Jacoby Walter for a small guard, but like I told you, you can use this on a small guard and big guard, aka the JT Thor of NBA 2K26, which was a JT Thor 2K25. You can still knock it down with Jacoby Walter if you have a low 3-point rating. And then if you want to use Kobe Bryant base and you're not a starter 4, Derek Whitehead is the best option, but I prefer Derek Whitehead because it has a better actual defensive immunity. Then we got Jalen Tyson. This is more of a spot up jump shot, but you could use it off the dribble, especially if you ISO and you know what you're doing. Then we got J.R. Smith. I told you J.R. Smith is very easy to time. It's just like Carmelo Anthony, but it's slightly a little bit different. But I'm telling you, I prefer you to use this as a popper or somebody that's just catching and shooting. And then we got Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine is one of those bases you don't want to sleep on. I'm trying to put y'all hip to Zach LaVine if you want to try something different and find your own way of jump shots. Because it's a clean jump shot to use and it's got a good visual cue once you find the actual releases. But now I just showed you those best bases you use. I'm going to show you some of the good jump shots. Now we're in starter fours. Jared Culver, Baluba, Kyle Korver. This is my jump shot from NBA 2K25 and it still works on NBA 2K26. Y'all know my jump shot from NBA 2K25 was money. This jump shot still works. It still works even after all those months and patches that were so far gone. This jump shot is still green. Now catch and shoot off the dribble, it doesn't matter. Then we got Jared Culver. If you don't like using Baluba, you can use Julian Champagnie. This is going to be max speed, 2080, and then with the actual push, it's going to be max on a release if you want to, but I usually stop right before release when it comes to Jared Culver because I'm not about to hold that button down too long because I know when it comes to my release and my visual cue, I'll be cool with it slightly almost halfway or almost when it gets to release. And my only problem with Jared Culver, sometimes it pulled you in past the 3-point line. But as of the jump shot I've always been using it, y'all boys always ask me what's the jump shot, and with my 6'6", 6'8", 6'9", it doesn't matter. Ray Allen, Devin Vassell, Quentin Grimes. You might even have to use my releases. As of just using Ray Allen base, it's between you're going to be a Quentin Grimes shooter, a Jared Culver shooter, or you're going to be a Ray Allen shooter. Those are maybe the top 3 to end up using when it comes to shooting on this game for those bigger builds. Now, if you want to try something different, it's underrated. Gordon Hayward, Baluba, Luka Doncic, you can switch it up. Gordon Hayward's base is very fast. Jump shot is very fast. That's the reason why I have it on 3-4 speed, 60-40 blend, and it's halfway of push. Now, if you end up trying max speed, that's on you. Then we got Quentin Grimes, Brandon Ingram. Now, Chad Benz has been literally showing this, like he used Ray Allen, but as of using on Quentin Grimes, it's actually nice. I tried it with Ray Allen and I like it, but I still don't like it more than my actual Ray Allen custom, but it's a great jump shot to use. And for anybody that's trying to get like a Kobe jump shot base and you're not a starter for Kobe Bryant or Derek Whitehead, they're literally the same. One requires an 86, one requires like a 78 or 79 3-pointer, which this is Baluba and David West. You can switch the secondary release. It doesn't matter. 30, 70, you can put Paul George as your secondary, you can put Sadiq Bey, mess around with it. You can put Rudy Gay. It's all up to you. But for my big builds, Chris Bosh is here. So my starter fours, if you're just hitting starter four, you're about to hit starter four, try out Chris Bosh. Now, Jonathan Isaac is still that #1 to me, but Chris Bosh is also a great option to use, and I'm happy that I got to actually try out Chris Bosh. Nick Claxton, underrated. If you got a low 3-point rating, low mid-range rating, you want to try something else other than using Jonathan Isaac or using this and that, hey, use Nick Claxton, try it out. But Jonathan Isaac is the #1 jump shot when it comes to big builds, no matter if you're 6'10", all the way to 7'4". Literally, it's the #1 jump shot. Only thing is the problem is the timing stability, because if your my player ends up getting tired and that stamina meter blinks, your jump shot speed will get slower in a crazy amount of speed. Then we got Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant base this year is actually nice. Now, if you want to try that, definitely recommend you to get Kevin Durant. We got MPJ. A lot of people use MPJs. Even the 7'4" use MPJ. It's something about it. It's very fast, but the thing about it, it creates a higher contest because this jump shot jumps forward versus like a up and down motion. And then if you want to try out Trey Lyles, the 76 midi or 76-3, or even if you want to try Jabari Smith Jr., and I've been telling y'all don't want to sleep on jump shot bases. I'm showing y'all because you want to see a lot of people try to switch up to the wave. The same thing with like a David West. I'm telling you, if you see somebody use David West in the future, I was already putting you hip to game before they even thought about it. Now, for all the jump shots I just showed you for the best bases for the big builds, 6'10s all the way to 7'4s, let's get into some jump shots. Now, if you're on a starter 4 build that can unlock Chris Bosh, all you gotta have is that Chris Bosh, Charles Bassey, Victor Wembanyama, max speed, 44-56 blend. Now, when it comes to the visual cue, this is mostly gonna be on you. You can end up putting this on release. Now, me, I can't do it on release. It feel weird. The timing ain't right for me. So as of me, I put it literally in between push and release, and it's been money. Now, for another jump shot, we got Jonathan Isaac, Charles Bassey, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, max speed, 47-53 blend. You can put it on release, but I put mine literally on the R release. The beginning of the R release, I can time it with this. The thing is, if you really care about time stability, don't put this jump shot on. But a lot of people who want to end up being the best shooters, they're using Jonathan Isaac base. So don't let that time stability throw you off. And then for the jump shot, y'all boys asked me, I used it on my Wembanyama build, I used it on my Kevin Durant build. I dropped a 40 ball and I dropped a 50 ball with this jump shot. Like Jonathan Isaac, LaMarcus Aldridge, Charles Bassey, max speed, 65-35. I've been going crazy with it. Then we got Kevin Durant, LaMarcus Aldridge, Dirk Nowitzki, 3-4 speed, 60-40, and slightly past push. And I mean slightly past push, about 2 to 3 tick. I say about, okay, 3 to 4 ticks past push. That's where the threshold is. Now, when we come to Michael Porter Jr., we have Baluba and we have Charles Bassey. Max speed, 55-45 blend, and this is between push and release. Now, your visual cue can change based on your feeling and your timing and your latency and how you set up for you. Like, if based on your internet connection or your reaction time, that's going to be based on you. You don't have to copy the same visual cue as me. The same thing with this Jonathan Isaac, LaMarcus, and Marc Gasol. You can put this on release, but I'm more comfortable right between this E and L of my visual cue as it being a 55-45 blend. Now that I just end up giving you some of the best jump shots you can end up using on NBA 2K26 when it comes to the big builds, the little guards, the lockdowns, the poppers, the 6'10s, the 6'11 demigods, or even the 7'4s that literally just shoot over people. Hey man, all I ask y'all boys to do is drop a like on this video, make sure y'all subscribe, send this video to one of y'all homies that can't shoot, or they trying to become better shooters and they need a little help. Lead them to the right way. But I'm gonna see y'all boys in the next one. If you haven't checked out the 2 videos on the screen, make sure you click one of those videos. A crazy 26-point comeback and a random wreck.